Hey everybody, B Temple here again. Today we're going to finish off our Slovenian combat ration type A review. This is the third and final review for this ration. So as we can see, we still got our bag here. It's empty now, but as we've seen from the previous two videos, this was a very large, comprehensive ration, a lot of great items. In the previous video, part 2, the cream cheese strawberry dehydrated dessert was perhaps the best component in any way, shape, or form. Not just dessert, but any ration component I've ever had since I've started trying rations. So it was fantastic. I wish I could get more of it. But today, for our final meal, we've got this stuff here. So, just to go around the table again, we've got our final Pomeranza orange citrus mineral vitamin drink. Today we've got a tin of what appears to be salmon pate. That's the way it translated. So I guess we'll see when we open it. I'm not a particularly big fan of salmon, so this could go either of two ways. Either I'll love it or I'll hate it. Probably won't be much gray area, but I guess we'll see when I open it up. And like we had in our first review, we got another pack of our crispy bread. This is a rye and wheat mixed bread, sort of like rusks, I guess is maybe the word to use. It's pretty good stuff. Now, as we can see, it expired technically 2 years ago. The first pack I had was sort of teetering on the edge of starting to go stale, but I guess we'll see if these are any different. And to go along with the crisp bread, of course, not just the salmon pate, we've got 2 packs of honey, 2 little 10-gram packs. They're very crystallized, so we're going to run those under some hot water for a little bit and see if we can get them to reconstitute in their liquid form. Honey's pretty good that way. Once it's melted back into its liquid form, it's just fine. It doesn't really technically go bad. We've got our Orbit gum and our Vitagen energy tablets once again. And the last main thing, the entree that we have here, which is a bit different from the previous meals. Instead of having a dehydrated entree, we've got one of these. So, say, what I'm going to assume is a retort pouch, regular, MRE style ration inside. It's one of these hot packs, and it is chicken casserole, 300 grams. Looks like it's got some pretty good stuff in there: potatoes, carrots, onions, peas, chicken breast. So English on top, Slovenian on the bottom. See, it's produced by Canland, UK. And one of the odd things, Scotsman 1984, one of the other YouTube ration reviewers, great guy, sort of pointed out the fact that, yeah, when you turn this around and look, this is basically just packed in a regular large letter size British Royal Mail pouch. So, yeah. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to open this up, see what's inside, and then get the entree started, I guess. So, inside we have a rather large hot pack FRH flameless ration heater. I'm not sure if these ones use aluminum or magnesium as their main metal, but we'll be able to tell from the smell. The magnesium in the American FRHs does give off a fairly pungent odor. I find the European ones, if they use aluminum, the smell's a little more pleasant, I guess is the best way to put it. It's still not great. It's certainly a lot better than the American ones. And also inside we have a small packet of the water that's meant for this. In here, they actually use a, salt water solution. It's already prepared for you instead of just using regular tap water and maybe throwing in a little bit of table salt or something like that. They have this already prepared for you, and that's it. So that works out great. Got a little just instruction sheet, which technically shouldn't be needed since it's exactly the same thing that's, you know, posted on the front of the FRH. Well, there it is. And lastly, we have our Slovenian chicken casserole. No other markings of any kind. It says it's best before August 2016, so we're about 7 months past best before. So I guess we'll find out how this actually turns out. Odd that they have the writing here and then the tear notch to open it on this side, so it'll have to be like this once we finally plate it up. But yeah, so let's get our FRH ready and get this heated up. First we'll tear here. Nice and open. Let's get our salt solution water ready. Not to make too much of a mess doing this. Let's pour it inside. Slide our entree in. Let's sort of tip it this way to get the, make sure the elements are nice and hydrated by the water. As you can see, look like they're fairly hydrated. Nothing's started yet as it relates to heat, but we'll just pop it back into its pouch. We'll leave that off to the side for a little bit, and we'll hopefully find it heated up in 10 minutes, say. Next, we're going to, I guess, get our drink ready. Just get our glass. Once again, we've got our Pomeranza mineral vitamin drink. Let's see if we can get the tear notch to actually work on this one. The last two, the tear notch does not want it to cooperate. Oh, and there we go. This one I've got a strong orange scent from it straight away, so that's a good sign. That should be good. The best way I can describe the taste of this particular vitamin mineral drink is very akin to, say, the tablets you can get for vitamin C, sort of Energen, something along those lines. Just a standard sort of orange flavored vitamin C tablet. So yeah, it's pretty good. The last one I had a little bit of more of a chemical kind of aftertaste to it. The first one was great, so we'll see which one this sort of seems closest to. Next, we're going to go just heat up some of this honey in some warm water, try to get it reconstituted. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, while we're waiting for the honey to reconstitute, we'll just get some of the rest of this stuff ready. First of all, we'll get one of our Vitagen tablets ready for the end of our meal. And we'll just get another piece of our Orbit gum. Ready for the end as well. Next, let's open up our crisp bread. It's got a very strong rye and wheat kind of scent to it. So as you can see, these are somewhat thick. They're very airy, very amazingly light. They almost feel like nothing. I don't know the best way to describe them. This is a company called Revita, I believe it is, that makes a cracker product sort of fairly similar to this. Let's just give this a little taste on its own just to see how it's doing. And yeah, for something that's supposed to be 2 years past its best before date, it's actually not that bad. It's it is fairly dry, as can be expected, but it doesn't have a particularly strong stale taste or texture. So this should do fairly well. Next, we're going to open up our what we believe to be salmon pate. Yeah, so let's give it a try. It's got a nice ring pull on it. That's a good thing. I'm going to leave the top of the cover on there because knowing my luck, if I try to remove that, I'll spill all this juice everywhere, and I don't really want to have to do a big, huge cleanup, so we'll just keep that like that. So as we can see, our pate has this sort of oil resting on it. It's an amazingly light texture, spreads easily. Let's give this a try. So remember, this is supposed to be salmon pate. I guess we'll find out now once we try it. Oh, yeah. That's salmon pate. And it's not very good salmon pate. That's the nicest thing I can say about this. I don't know if it's expired or it's just supposed to taste that way. Anyway, as we can see here, it expired either the first day of November 2016 or the 11th day of January 2016. So either way, it is somewhat expired, and it's incredibly oily, and yeah, it's salmon and not very good salmon. So that's just, yeah, I'm not going to have any more of that. One mouthful of that was enough. Let's just try to cleanse our palate a little bit with our orange flavored energy drink. Oh, okay, well that was helpful. So yeah, as we can tell from my first video and this one, the Type A Slovenian combat ration gives you 2 separate fish-oriented kind of snacks, side dishes, and both of them were, what's the best word to use? Horrid. That's probably the best one to use. Yeah, so we're going to go check on the honey, see if that's liquefied again, and hopefully we can find some way to salvage these crisp breads instead of just having to eat them on their own. Or maybe we can use them for the entree when the entree is ready. I guess we'll see. So yeah, just give me a second. Okay guys, so we've got our honey ready to go. It still feels a little bit crystallized, but it should be something that we could salvage. So let's try out one packet on some crisp bread. Let's see if this actually spreads. So as you can see, it's somewhat liquefied again. But that's not a whole lot of honey to get out of that packet, and the rest that seems to be in there is just still just crystals. So we'll give this a little bit of try, see how it tastes. Well, there would appear to be something just a little bit off with the honey. It's sweet, yes, but there's just a little bit of a strange aftertaste I'm getting. I don't know if it's just this packet. We'll try the other one just to see if the other packet is a little bit different. It is sweet. It does have its, standard honey kind of taste, but at the same time, just at the very end, getting like a strange aftertaste, and I don't quite know where to place it. There's the second pouch. As you can see, you can still almost see the granules, the crystals in the liquid. And yeah, that one seems to be just the same way. So I don't know what's gone wrong with the honey, but once again, this could just be the ration itself showing its age. It was supposed to expire March of 2015, so that's a little bit over 2 years ago. So maybe some of this stuff just doesn't have particularly great shelf life. But it's, how should I put it, mildly pleasant honey. At the beginning, it smells fine. But yeah, after you've taken a bite, it has this strange aftertaste that I just can't place at all. I don't know if it's just it doesn't go well with the crisp bread or what, or maybe the salmon pate still got my taste buds, destroyed. I'm not sure, but gonna cleanse the palate once again, and then we're gonna check on the entree and see how that's going. Okay, guys, I'm gonna check on our entree. I don't know if the FRH itself was never great to begin with, or the packet of salt water perhaps may have lost its strength. Not sure, but this FRH never really got crazy hot. It didn't make that sort of bubbling crazy steam that you normally would attribute to the European FRHs. So it is warm, but it never really got sort of boiling hot. So I guess we'll see how well the entree is actually heated. So there's our entree. Yeah, it feels moderately warm. There's a look inside of our chicken casserole. So as we can see, guys, it's maybe hasn't heated up quite as much as I would have wanted. The sauce still appears to be a little tiny bit gelatinous. As we can see here in the corners, there's a great deal of oil separation in the ration. It does have a very, very pleasant smell, though, so that's at least a good sign. We can see we've got some what appears to be carrots, peas, potato, and chunks of chunks of chicken. So yeah, we got a little bit of everything here on this spoon. So let's give it a try. Well, that has a lovely taste. The chicken is great. It has a great consistency. It's not too dry. Sometimes using chicken breast in these sort of meals, you'd think that because it's sitting in a retort pouch, it should be nice and moist, I guess the best word to use. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes it's actually incredibly dry. This is actually great. It's not hot. That's the one problem. I probably maybe could have just thrown this in the microwave or did something with it, but just trying to be authentic. The FRH never really got overly hot, so I'm sort of eating this kind of lukewarm, which is maybe detracting from the taste a little bit. This is probably one of those kind of meals where if it was hot, it would certainly taste better. The potatoes, it's nice large chunks of potato. They're a great consistency. They're not too hard, not too soft. They break up well. You know, you can tell they're potatoes. Can't really pick up on the flavor of the peas or the carrots. But overall, it's a nice sauce. You can tell there's what I assume to be a fairly high fat content in there. It's nice and rich. So yeah, this is actually pretty good. Maybe would have been nice for the ration to come with maybe some salt and some black pepper, something like that. Something to just jazz this up a little bit. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Yeah, so this is pretty good. I think really what it is missing is just a little bit of black pepper. I'm someone who enjoys black pepper on almost everything. And this is sort of screaming out to have some black pepper on it, just to sort of bring it more to life, as it were. So just to finish off, guys, we'll once again do our Vitagen Energy tablet. Remember, this is the field berry or mixed berry flavor. And those things are great. Still got a lot of them left. Still got, 7 tablets in this sleeve. And still a whole other sleeve of 10. So yeah, these would be great. Just every now and then they use as sort of a mild multivitamin, that sort of thing. And just to finish off, another piece of our Sweet Mint Orbit gum. And there's really no need to belabor the point, but yeah, as I've said in the previous 2 videos, that gum is not quite up to snuff. It's particularly hard on the outside. It really doesn't get overly soft, even after minutes of chewing. And the flavor, the mint flavor, lasts for just seconds, and then it kind of just dissipates. So, yeah, it's just one of those kind of things where maybe it's just showing its age. Who knows? So this has been our combat ration, Type A, from Slovenia. So this is all finished up now. I'd like to give a shout out to the guys at Combat Rations. One of the guys from that group sent me this ration. It's been, for the most part, fantastic. I think next I would like to maybe get my hands on something that's a little more fresh, just to see what the difference could be. That if all the components are in good shape, are within, the right date range, it should be more enjoyable. So, thank you guys for stopping by and having a look at this ration. It's been good and bad, I guess is the best way to describe it. Next up, after this ration, I think I'm going to dive into a humanitarian daily ration from the United States that was sent to me by Old Smoky. So, look forward to that. All right, thanks for stopping by.